Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the chamber. Welcome to Friday Coffee. My name is Gary Plummer. I'm the president of the chamber, and it's great to see such a good turnout this morning. I know we have probably an equal number of people that are on Zoom this morning. I want to welcome them. Let them know that we'll probably have time for you to participate more in the second half of our program this morning. Because of the legislator schedule, we're going to start right off with a panel conversation that's moderated by Logan Gratz with Gratz Real Estate and Auctioneering. Logan is the chairman of the chamber's newly reconstituted Government Relations Committee. We pulled together a group, about 20 folks that are very active in the legislative process and also at the local level as well, in city and county policy. Logan stepped up and accepted the invitation to be their chair. They had their first meeting last week, and a lot of them are probably on Zoom this morning. He's got 20 great folks involved. And if anybody here wants to get involved or wants more information on our Government Relations Committee, please see me after the program this morning. So I'm going to turn it over to Logan. He's going to introduce our special guests and moderate their conversation. Logan?
Good morning. Thank you guys for being here. I'll do a quick introduction of the three. To my left, Senator Mike Bernskoetter, a Republican, took the oath of office on January 9, 2019 to serve the residents of the 6th Senatorial District. Before being elected to the Senate, Senator Bernskoetter served as a representative from the 59th District of the Missouri House of Representatives. First elected in 2010, he served 8 years in the Missouri House. In addition to his legislative duties, Senator Bernskoetter has only operated Arts Pest Control for 32 years. On the far left, Representative Griffith, the Republican representing Cole County District 60 in the Missouri House of Representatives. He was elected to his first 2-year term in November 2018. Prior to his legislative duties, Griffith served as the executive director of the American Red Cross for 6 years and served on the City Council of Jefferson City. Prior to that, he spent 23 years working for Harrison TV in a variety of roles. He has also served in the U.S. Army's 8th Special Forces Group as a Marine Corps. In the middle, Representative Rudy, Veit, a Republican, represents parts of Cole and Miller counties, District 59, in the Missouri House of Representatives. He was elected to his first 2-year term in November 2018. In addition to his legislative duties, Veit is a practicing attorney and personally employed law from Harrison City. Thank you, sir. So to start, we kind of just want to get from all three of you, what are your 2 top priorities for this legislative session? You want to start?
So, first of all, I want to say thank you for being the legislative liaison, and what do you say, 20 people? So that's amazing that we have 20 people that are interested in doing that. You know, me and Rudy and Dave, we can't do this stuff forever, so it's always great to see that there's people that are interested in representing, you know, in the legislative process, because we need somebody to replace us. They won't let us stay there forever. But as far as the priorities, I'm the chairman of the Senate Redistricting Committee, and so that's one of my priorities is getting the House and Senate are in charge of redistricting the congressional maps. Every 10 years, they look at the data from the census, and the census data is all behind because of COVID. Actually, when I was there 10 years ago, we'd already had redistricting done by this time. So filing starts at the end of February. We still don't know. We don't know where we're running. The Congress people don't know their districts. So we're trying to get that done right away. And then I'm chairman of the Agriculture of the Senate, and we have some unfinished business in the agriculture field that we're hopefully we can fast track.
So again, I want to thank all of you also for your participation. The idea is that we push up there and what to do is not guided by ourselves, but guided by information that comes from individuals. You know what our laws, how they're affecting your individual business. We generally know, but there are specific things that come from individuals. All of the bills I sponsored, none of them my brilliant idea why I sit around and these are what I'm going to do. These bills that came to me from various entities. And as far as the I hate to tell somebody what's my priority, because then you're saying, well, you're carrying my bill for the Supreme Court, and that's not a priority. You're carrying my bill for Parks and Rec, that not, all my bills are priority because it takes constant rolling the bills to try to get them through. One of the things that's been really hot is, yesterday, I'm vice chairman of judiciary, and so we had the COVID liability, or the COVID vaccine mandates and those types of things that are coming through our committee, and it gets some strange bedfellows because sometimes the chamber now is supporting things that some of the Republicans aren't, and so you're getting strange alignments. And so speaking out for our position can be very controversial in amongst your own party. But certainly, I want to do everything I can to prevent mandates. I don't want the government mandating to businesses how they operate their business. I don't want the government mandating how they, the schools, when they have to mask, not mask. Those are local decisions. Yesterday, one of the bills that was very controversial was, and one of the bills was by the chairman of the judiciary, that employers don't have the right to say as a condition of employment, get vaccinated. An employer has an inherent Christian and moral duty to provide a safe place of work for his employees, to try to get his business to stay in business, and they are best qualified to know what is good for their business and what isn't. We don't need more mandates. Ironically, that was being pushed by certain people in my own party. I spoke out openly against it. I think we're reaching, there may be a compromise somewhere in the works or a resolution, but there are fundamental things that as your legislature, I may be not agreeing with everybody in my own party. You all, my constituents, and what's good for the county comes before just a hidden agenda of somebody for their own political gain. We have to watch that up for this year. That's one of the, there's a priority is not get caught up in all the elections and all of the politics involved. People, you know, that sound for this. But a lot of times there's a hidden motive. Who am I running against, and what's my primary look like? So,
Sir, music Bob Marley.
yeah, and I don't want to take it. I guess if I had a priority, would be to listen to all the political rhetoric out there and all the different things, and try not to drink all the Kool-Aid from anybody. And that would be my priority. But everything, all of my bills, I have not taken. I think of 8 bills. There are several we're working on. For instance, the truckers in this state, from Senator, trying to figure out how we can get truck drivers to get a DWI on the weekend, or never had a DW in their life. How we can, with security for protecting the public, that get them back on the road so they're not out of business for life. We need truckers right now, or for a year. We need truckers back on the road. And there's monitoring devices. They're working with what the federal laws are. And a lot of the stuff we make up, you know, mandates and everything beyond our control. We think we're important, but the federal law is still trying to dictate what we do. But there's a trucker DWI. I'm spending a lot of time on a bill I passed last year, residential care facilities of unlicensed residential care facilities. Our Department of Social Services, rightfully or wrongfully, expanded that to cover Boy Scouts. We had no intention of interfering with Boy Scouts. There are enough rules out there. If there are rules dealing with Boy Scouts, we need to do it. So I have to follow them to correct that. Another part of that bill is background checks. We have background checks for unlicensed facilities. They're not licensed. They need a more thorough background check. They license facilities, and though but this will solve their problem also. So that's what you call unintended consequences. Because now, if you hire an employee, try to hire an employee, there's a 6 to 8 weeks waiting for a background check on those facilities. But nobody's going to be spend $100 to get somebody a background check on an employee, and they're going to wait 2 months, not for a $15, $20 job. It's not going to happen. And it's a major problem. There's 3,000 or 4,000 behind now. They give a moratorium, but I'm having meetings with them once a week. They started stuff by email. I said, it's over. I'm not doing any more email. We'll come in here once a week. We're going to get it solved. I'm going to follow an amendment. Well, I think we get it solved and just do it, because everyone knows we cannot totally jeopardize the ability of these facilities to hire employees. And it's frustrating. State employees, it's frustrating getting the response I need from them. They don't recognize the urgency of their idea that they shut it in the last day. And they don't understand the urgency of what all these facilities have to hire employees. And that is not gas, whatever, common sense tells you. You're hiring somebody for $15 an hour, $20 an hour, and you tell them, we'll get back to you in 2 months. They're gonna sit around and wait 2 months for that job. I guess it'd be my other priority up there would be to get people to understand the urgency of some of the situations we're in. Thanks.
Well, when I was with Channel 13, I got to go down and be a part of when Jack Nicklaus opened up for Fukushima. And one of the questions they asked him is, what is your favorite hole on this course? He said, well, number one is really, really nice. But then number two, he went on, there wasn't one particular one he liked. Kind of like Rudy. I've got 10 bills that I file. Every one of those 10 bills are important to me. Prioritizing, and you asked me the top two. Well, I have top 5. So I'll try to call that down to the top 2. But I think one bill that I have, because I'm the chairman of the Veterans Committee, and I tried to get this bill across the finish line for 2 years, and that is providing 100% disabled veterans exemption for paying personal property tax. I talked with Larry Vincent, our local collector, to ask him what impact that would have on our community, on our county. And he said that it really didn't matter. That was just the right thing to do. There are approximately 14,000, a little over 14,000, 100% disabled veterans across the entire state. So the impact on schools and counties and that infrastructure is really not going to be that great. But it means a lot to those folks. Those folks are living on fixed incomes, and with the personal property taxes increasing, especially in Jackson County, this would be a real boost for them and really put more money back in their pocket. The second one that I probably would prioritize would be one that our local county came to me and asked me if I would file, and that is dealing with salaries, county elected official salaries. The worst thing a politician can ever do is vote himself as a pay increase. And you'll never, ever see any politicians that will do that. But we looked at, they came to me and asked me, and they said, really, it's not a fair playing field. In Cole County, our elected officials make right around $57,000. I'll just use our county collector. He makes $61,000 a year. The county collector in Cape Girardeau County makes $87,000. They do the same thing for virtually almost the same size county and doing the same business. So what I'm looking for in this bill is being leveling the playing field for our elected officials. And that really is twofold. One is they deserve that money because they're hard working. But two, if they're not going to run forever, we need to try and find qualified individuals. People that will come from the private sector and serve their county and their community. I think we need to pay them. And I think this is one way that we could do that. So I've got that bill filed. I had it on the floor. I actually was standing at the microphone last year. And Jeff Coleman was introducing his bill. The darn guy changed the bill at the very last minute. And the floor leader pulled him off the floor and told me to sit down. So that's how it goes over there sometimes. But I just going to make a run at it this time. I'm hoping the bill is going to remain clean. Where we don't have a lot of amendments to go on to it, where it becomes an omnibus bill. But if you live here long enough, you know that the reality of it is that we like to celebrate Christmas in April and May and have Christmas tree bills, but as they're called. Senator Bernskoetter and I are working on a couple of bills together, and I think the collaboration we have between the House and Senate is really key to bringing out good legislation. And something that the governor will say.
One of the points I want to hit, all three of us are actively up there walking the halls and trying to get a pay raise. That's probably, if there is a priority, all of us. We all are walking the halls, hitting our fellow representatives, reminding them, what it means for us, reminding them that they are employers. And as an employer, you want a good, efficient business, and the state is ours to manage, and we need to have good employees. That we've all walked the halls and doing everything we can on that. And Senator Bernskoetter is also carrying, I think, 5 of my bills over the Senate side, because we both know, we all know that we have to work with both sides of the aisle as much, or the House and Senate, if you want to get a bill through. and his staff have been working with me, and he has, to make sure that my bills are filed over there. And I didn't list it earlier. I don't think any of us, well, the pay raise is probably all of ours number one priority, because we know what it's doing to the ability we have to retain employees, to get good employees, and just the right thing to do.
I'll post this thing for you regarding the supplementary budget proposal. What do you think is the most important to you?
Just like Rudy, they said, the 5.5% pay rate for state most beneficial. There's also money in there for public schools, but I would say most beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, we need to get the 5.5, and that's basically just covering inflation. It's not really giving employees that much of a raise, but, and they can say what it is, but getting that through, because that sets the tone. It's one of there are people up there who are opposed to it. They argue that, well, we give them that this year, now how we're gonna find the money next year. We're really not giving that much of a pay raise. We're only keeping up with inflation. And inflation means there'll be future revenue coming in at the same rate. So explaining that to people, that probably is one of the priorities. And there's a lot of different provisions in there for education. Part of it is tied more to charter schools, public schools, but there's a large chunk in there that can help public schools address the problems we're having with all the interruptions that the COVID is causing.
Well, I would agree. I think that there's only, as far as supplemental goes, I think there's only one that has a timeline on it needs to be addressed, and that's the education piece of it. But as far as we're concerned, city employee compensation package is going to be probably our first priority. Like Rudy said, there's a pushback. The pushback really comes from people that are not, they don't have a whole lot of city employees in their district. They don't see the benefit of it. They don't see the benefit of keeping employees who've got institutional knowledge being there for years and years and years. And I can tell you almost to the person that I talk with, these are not just employees, these are public servants. These are people that live their life serving the state of Missouri. I have a good friend of mine that's an attorney with, and she started off with the insurance division. And she could have left the state of Missouri, hung her shingle somewhere on High Street, and made twice the money that she did. She feels compelled, really called as a ministry to serving people in Missouri. And those kind of employees, we need to let them know how much we appreciate it. And when I was knocking doors, that's going on 4 years ago, when I was knocking doors, I ran into a lot of city employees that I talked to. That was their big concern. We are last. Missouri is last in so many things. And this is one thing that we are last in. We need to move out of the cellar and pay these people. So that's our big priority. Like I said, there is some pushback. But I think we're turning the corner. Let's see what happens.
The 5.5 probably would do quicker than the minimum $15 an hour. Calling it $15 an hour, but I did do some checking, and we have legal assistants for state agencies are making less than $15 an hour. We have lawyers that are being paid $22 an hour. It's hard to see how we can keep people at that rate. You're not spending all your time retraining and not let you, I see it, we see, and their argument is there's a lot of people outside of, the private industry, they have challenges finding employees too, but that doesn't mean we just ignore our state employees and we fall further to the bottom of the barrel. One thing of being at the bottom is you can't fall much further. That's not a great advantage in this situation.
You all mentioned education in public schools. You see a lot of bills being filed. How do you feel some of those changes could benefit our local school districts?
I really haven't paid attention to the education. Like I said, I've got the redistricting going on. So I don't really, I don't have a good answer for that. You know, pay attention to the education.
Well, I did meet with all the superintendents of Cole County schools. They advised me that it is important to gives them some more discretion on some projects they need to get done. But all the things that, there's too many categories to sit down and try to figure out what money goes where. They told me, these are the bills and these are what we need, and I trust our superintendent. Not on the budget committee, so we don't have as much influence as we want to. But all I do is go to the budget committee the same way, and explain to them our need for salaries, and explain to them what our schools are needing now, and the value of a good public education. I am a strong believer in public education. I know charters in Kansas City and they're elsewhere, and they may be serving a need that we're not serving. The goal still is to get good public education and have public education work.
Well, I can tell you that there are over 20 bills filed on CRT currently. CRT is a 1619 project there. That's going to be, it's a real hot topic. It's a very controversial topic. It's a divisive topic. It's one that when we get to that discussion and debate on the floor, if you happen to be in the building that day, you'll see people standing on both sides of the aisle and poking fingers at each other. And I'm not sure we can really create good legislation when we have that kind of atmosphere and that kind of debate. When I ran for office, and even to this day, as far as education goes, what my hope is, and what my prayer is that we can provide the best education for our children that we possibly can for all of our children. And with everything that's in the media, through social media, and how you're hearing all kinds of different stories, I can guarantee, I don't know how many people we got in the room here today, but if I were to ask each of you what your definition of CRT is, we'd probably have that many different answers to each of what it is. And I don't think that my side of the aisle, in particular, I'll speak about them because I can't speak for the other side. But I think what we want is we want something that's taught to our kids that represents our community as well as what is the truth. I can tell you that our history in the United States is not always pretty. When I grew up, back in the Mayberry days, when I grew up, everything was hunky-dory. I mean, we were just the greatest place to live. If you dive into history, you can find out that Columbus really wasn't that great a guy. There was a lot of mistakes that he made, a lot of mistakes that we made in the Civil War. And those kind of mistakes we made need to be taught so that we don't make them again. Trying to find a consensus as far as education goes is going to be an issue. If you read last Sunday's paper, you can tell it's a true issue here in Jefferson City. It's one that we've got to address. We've got to get out in front of it. School administration has got to acknowledge what those issues are. And we've got to be able to work together to provide the best possible form that we can for our kids so we can set them up for success. And that includes our kids on the east side of town as well as our kids on the west side of town. We are a community. We need to be with one voice and not just have everything coming from one side of it.
I'll ask each of you one final question. How will you all plan to measure success in this session?
I will let somebody else measure my success. You know, if they thought we've done a good job, I don't know that I can measure my success. You know, like I mentioned several times, I'm redistricting, and I think we need to draw a map, a congressional map that reflects Missourians. So if I can get a map passed through the House and the Senate that will reflect Missourians and Missouri values and try to keep communities of interest together, that would be a successful year for me.
It would be a successful year for all of us if we could join together and get a map and doesn't end up being forward. That's what we campaign for, that we, Amendment 3, that we would draw these maps, and now people are taking these all or nothing stands and creating controversy, and so I find that disheartening. I was with someone last night and he asked it about whether I wanted to co-sign on a bill, and I told him, I have enough ink pens on the wall. I can pull the device if I need some. I don't need my particular bill passed. But there are what I call success and if we can do the judiciary and the other bills, get bills that are just a little more common sense and supported by what I call the silent majority. People that really care, they're not up to yelling, they know what it is. As far as critical race theory, I was just one afternoon, Sunday afternoon, I have all print, I read it. There are so many ideas out there, and so many different things out there, people that it just reminded me more than anything. Do I really want our educational teaching curriculum developed by the legislature or the local school board? And I still think that we have to have some very strong guidelines if we leave this up to the local school boards and local school districts. They can look at their district and see what's being taught. They can be looked at what needs to be done, and they may not have. If we pass laws that require too many things, the district that is obeying, doing the right thing now, for their students, they're gonna be bound by a whole bunch of new regulations. So I guess I have an inherent fear of looking at the wisdom of these bills, these same people telling everybody what they ought to teach and what not to teach. You gotta read this book, not this book. That's what the local school boards for, and that's what the parents are for. And we step in to try to replace them. But going back to the old thing, that's what we have so many regulations that if people are willing to let the government do what they should be doing. So I don't know how to measure success up there somewhere. You think you got a great semester or a great session going, you got all these bills are all going to be signed, and what a great deal, then Stan goes home once. So you can't measure success by what the number of incidents the government gives you for signing bills. So, trying to do the right thing and answer to your constituents. That's success.
I'd like to tell you that, and I agree with what Mike said. I think that's going to be up to you to decide how good a job will be done. I've got some of my colleagues on the floor. They judge their success by the number of bills that cross the finish line the governor signs. I had one representative who's a senior this year that said, all I really want this entire year is to have one bill to sign. It's going to be gone after this year, which may not be a bad thing. But I think that what we looked at, and we had over 2,000 bills filed last year, and 65 of them made it across the line. But many of you in this room will probably say that's a good thing. Maybe we shouldn't have passed all of those. Maybe we don't have maybe all those bills are not good, and we need to have less government. And I think that, I can't speak for my colleagues here, but that's what we need. We need to have less government telling us what to do. And we need to have more influence from the local communities. But the biggest thing that you can do for all three of us is you can let us know what you think. If you don't, then we can't really legislate. We really can't bring something forward if we don't know how you feel. I had a constituent that called me day before yesterday. She sent me an email saying, please give me a call. I know you won't, but please give me a call. I know this lady and I love this lady, but we are so far apart politically that we very rarely agree on anything. But I call her and I talk to her. And lo and behold, there were three things we agreed on. And I told her, I said, we need to stop the conversation right now because we're in the plus side, so we need to be stopped. But those are the kind of calls that I look forward to and that I want to talk to. So I can explain what my position is, but then I can also listen to what your position is. And I try to go with the majority of what my constituents feel. If it's a close vote, then that's why you elect me, is to make those decisions. So, but I just want to thank you for having us here today. It's truly an honor to serve you. And I look forward to serving 2 more terms if you'll have me. I'm not going to give you a campaign speech right now, but I could. But thank you.
Thank you all for being here and representing us.
Thank you very much.
I would do wish you changed these meetings till before 8 o'clock. I really like to see you all out making money, paying taxes. So we
Well, thank you.
I know you all have a deadline to get to the Capitol. We understand. Thanks for being with us today. We'll let you go ahead. Get on your way to work representing us. Thanks again for being here. I want to thank RJ Shear and Associates for sponsoring this morning's Friday coffee. Brian Bernskoetter is here. Brian, you want to say anything?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. For those of you who don't spend a lot of time in the Capitol, probably don't recognize the gyms that we have here. Two of you may believe me, one of you knows that full crap. But we really have excellent representation in the Capitol, and that is not something that every community in Missouri can say. And so I really appreciate these men and that wide variety of expertise that they bring. And they build it well, and they speak very, very good. Really more. Jury's out.
And thank you, Logan, for moderating that panel this morning. Glad to have you in a leadership role on the side of the chamber. And I'm going to turn it over to Susan. Take it from here. Thank you, Susan.
Great program, thanks again. Well, why don't we go ahead and do our introductions around the room. When you introduce yourself, you can say your name and your business, and also if there's any announcement you want to make, a quick announcement, maybe something going on in your business or something you're involved in the community, feel free to do so. And then we'll ask the folks that are joining us on Zoom if they want to unmute themselves and introduce themselves as well. So why don't you go ahead and start?
I'm Logan Gratz, Director of State Functionary.
You're a former with the chamber and basic home offers.
Capillary interfaith lines. This Tuesday at Eden Road, we got a program about U.S. national security as related to Russia and China. Darius Watson, 5:30 p.m. Tuesday. Will be in Grace Church. You are invited.
Staff with farm insurance also the whole Summit Community Benefits.
Amy Rogers, Lincoln University.
Gary Hopkins with Prairie Hill, and we have a St. Patrick's Day fundraiser coming up on St. Patrick's Day at Capital City Productions. So
I'm Jay Moore on staff here. For those of you that have the MEWOC insurance, things are being done a little different. So you're required, and the chamber, Missouri Chamber is still working on this, but right now you're required to have a letter of good standing prior to February 18th. So if you need one of those letters, reach out to myself or to Jennifer, and we will get those for you so that you can answer the survey questions to renew that insurance.
Across the street, and we have a new film streaming service called Canopy. So if you're snowed in tomorrow, you might want to check it out. It's a free app that you can download, and got all kinds of things going on at the library. So if you haven't been for a while, I'd like to encourage you to check us out.
I'm Pastor City Council for you.
On a trail in Missouri.
Brian Bernskoetter, British Year Association.
Sean Satin from the Chambers.
And I'm not sure if I introduced myself. I'm Susan Neal Dottie with the Chamber, and my announcement, we have a ribbon cutting today, joining Gladys Children's Academy. It's a new child care facility that's opening up. So we're happy to celebrate those openings, but also if your business has an expansion or an anniversary, call on us, the Chamber Ambassadors. We're happy to have a ribbon cutting for you. Oh yeah, I forgot. Thanks, Gary. Yeah.
Before you go to the ones on Timber, like I said, sorry, I thought we were just doing introductions first and announcements second. The Red Silver Word Project has we had our third annual. It's always been a Valentine's Day show fundraiser. We changed the name this year to Hollywood Nights, so they go home Hollywood, lots of events and glam
It's the most fun fundraiser you will ever get to go to. It is not river chicken. No offense to anybody who's on, committees I'm on myself. But it is a lot of fun. We have a 20-piece, 16 to 20-piece big band, 10 vocalists from Central Missouri, John Grand Catering. It's Friday, it's Saturday, February 12th at Capitol Bluffs. Tickets will go on sale next Saturday, the 22nd. We have a lot of people reaching out. We get tickets. So I can sell out. It's a lot of fun. If you wanted to donate, I can set an auction. That was a big part of our revenue last year. We would love to have anything from a $25 gift certificate on it. I think that's really cool. Sure, we have 12 Mercy Suite tickets to a Blues game in April. Yeah, and thanks, Gary, for reminding me. Folks that are joining us on Zoom, if you want to unmute and introduce yourselves, and if you have an announcement to share.
Nancy Gratz, Gratz Real Estate and Auctioneering.
Darcy Crane, American Cancer Society.
David Overfelt, Missouri Retailers. And I'd like to say that during the hearing Wednesday night, Rudy Veit was a tremendous help trying to hold off all of these vaccine mandates from the Republican side of the aisle. We've got quite a fight there this session.
Jesse Craig, Bride and Swearingen in England.
Wendy Rood, First Mid Bank and Trust.
Carol Griffin, Special Olympics, Missouri.
Michael Ford with Line Chiropractic.
Dave Peterson, Promo Realty.
Dwayne Carty, Jefferson City Renegades. And we have a trivia coming up on February 19th at McClung Park. First questions at 6 p.m. Sign up at jeffcityrenegades.com.
Linda Zimmerman with University of Missouri Extension, Cole County.
This is Janet Ware-Inlow with SSM Health, and I'm excited to say we are now on the grow. So if you know of local students who are in either medical school or residency, if you would share their name, we would love to reach out to them and try and recruit some of our very own to come home. Thank you.
Hi, Stephanie Lehman, CNS Business Services.
Joe Palicathile with the Alzheimer's Association. I know it's drifting closer to lunchtime today, so if you're getting hungry, the Eagles of Jefferson City are doing a fundraiser for us today. It's $10 for their famous fried chicken, sides, and their homemade pies. So if you're hungry, you should come out, show them some love and show us some love that way. Thank you.
This is Alex Bobbitt from the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Hi, Vicki Dunbar with Ravel Catering and Events.
Susan Cook-Williams with River City Habitat for Humanity, and this year will mark our 30th year here in Jefferson City. So watch for some things coming up this year to help us celebrate that 30 years.
Anyone else? That was good. That was great. Great announcements, guys. That's always one of the best part of Friday Coffee. We learn a lot, but we also get to learn a lot from each other too, and the announcements that we can share. Do want to welcome some of our newer members. Central Missouri Turf Management, Gibbs Pool Turner, PC, Healthline In-Home Care, Mark One, and the Plate and Pour. That's just a few of our new members that we've had this month since the last time we got together. So I didn't note that any of those new members were on Zoom, but if you want to, I guess not. Okay. Well, we welcome those new members. Once again, just another reminder, thank you to our J. Sheeran Associates for being our sponsor. Your business can be a sponsor too. Rochelle Weaver is generally here and she shares the benefits of being a sponsorship think she had a conflict this morning. She was gonna be on Zoom, so she didn't introduce herself. I'm assuming she isn't with us, but we do promote your business in our emails, but then we do partner with Cumulus, and they will schedule some radio announcements for your business as well. For the year 2022, we still have a few sponsorships open. So if you have an interest in that, reach out to us. We can let you know if there's a month available that would be beneficial for you to promote your business, or maybe promote a specific event that you have going on in your organization. That would be great for you to share at Friday Coffee. Quick announcements for the chamber, and Natalie, I'm going to let you do this announcement because you're in the room. You're the star.
The star. So we have changed the date and time of social media forum. We are moving to the third Wednesday of the month at noon. Basically, Kenny got a different job, and so therefore he can come on his lunch break but not recorded. So we're excited to do that. We're much more entertaining together for sure. So this month we're going to talk about how to batch create content for social media. So
very good.
Next week.
Good.
You can bring your own lunch.
Right, that's true. It is over there. So if you're in Zoom, you can have your lunch where you are. But if you're in this room and you choose to bring your lunch or prior, looking forward to that opportunity. And we do appreciate Natalie and Kimmy for kind of leading those efforts. And that is a real interactive group. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, I encourage you to do so. Another opportunity for you to network is Chamber Connections. That's always on the third Thursday. It's at a different chamber member restaurant or bar. This month on the 20th, it's at Bones. Our sponsor, and we appreciate our sponsorships for this, Beautiful Home Interiors. I did hear that Daryl or Taylor Wright were on the Zoom, so we appreciate them, and we also partner with the Zimmer Radio Group because KWS and Cat Country are there, and they also provide us on-air interviews prior to the event for our sponsors to share about their business. And it's also a chance where we can share about the chamber. So that is January 20th, 4 to 5:30. Bring your business cards and network at Chamber Connections. Chamber Focus is the Chamber's annual meeting, the 129th annual meeting of the Chamber, and we are having that on the 25th of this month. We will be recognizing our outgoing chair, that would be Jack Davidson, as well as the officers and the board of directors. We'll have here some remarks from Jeff on kind of an outlook the past year, and then Jasper Calaruso, he is the current chair, the 2022 chair. He's going to give an outlook of things that we have on the forefront for the chamber right now. So it's a great opportunity for us to celebrate our successes and look forward to all the chamber and our leadership. We're going to announce our committee chairs. That event is at 8 a.m. at the Country Club. If you already have a ticket, that's great. We look forward to having you there. But we have limited, we have seating there, so it is sold out because we really want to be responsible for social distancing, so that capacity we've limited it. However, you will not miss out because it will be recorded, and we'll have an opportunity to share that with you. It'll be on YouTube, and then of course it'll be on our website that you can do that at your convenience. So we do appreciate our presenting sponsor for that. Cap Region Medical Center, as well as we have other program sponsors and folks that have bought tables for that. And I'm happy to have your participation and look forward to that. Friday Coffee, member announcements. Does anybody else have any other? We kind of combine our member announcements with our introductions, but if you had something else that you want to share.
Business Association Center for Social last night, the chamber. The collaboration.
Yes, we had East Side, West Side, downtown. It's a business association. Old Municipal wasn't with us this time, but they generally are when we get together. And then the young professionals were there also. So it was a great opportunity for us to continue our collaborative efforts. Gary, is there anything that you want to share? Or
I'd be glad to respond to any questions. Anything else about what's going on?
Snowing.
We're only in charge of
That is true. Well, if there are no other announcements in the room or on Zoom, our Friday Coffee next month is February 11th in this room and Zoom. We are glad that you're here today and hope that you participate again next month.
Yeah, we're hoping that summer's all because of shit, but I had to be outside.